Hello everybody, we're the managers. I'm Jorge.
I'm Fennel,
I'm Cash.
I'm Aaron.
I'm Raj.
I'm Emiliano.
and we're the managers.
Okay, so our scenario is Jane is an attractive female at a large company. Jane has been promoted on a regular basis and is making a large salary for her age. Lately, a senior manager has been flirting more and more with Jane, and Jane knows from experience that the situation is escalating. Jane has thought of getting a new job. Jane has considered wearing a fake wedding ring. Jane has considered being direct and just letting the senior manager know that she is not interested. Jane has even considered filing a formal complaint if the situation goes too far, but hopes she can stop the situation from getting too far ahead of time. So what should Jane do?
Now we're going to ask some questions. Who thinks that flirting in the workplace is inappropriate and why?
I think it's pretty inappropriate because it's not the right setting. I mean, if you were trying to flirt with somebody, then you probably go to a bar or something like that. Workplace is just not the right place.
Good answer. Who thinks Jane should ignore the situation?
I don't think you should ignore the situation. I think you should report it to HR because this could be a very bad situation, lead to sexual harassment.
I agree.
Who thinks that Jane should file a formal complaint?
So I think she should file a formal complaint because the problem won't stop until she does something about it, and this could be her way of tackling the situation in an appropriate professional manner.
Great point.
Who thinks the scenario could turn into a sexual harassment?
I mean, this could easily turn into sexual harassment because she's already tried different tactics, I guess, to ignore the situation. She put in the fake ring, and now she's thinking about either she should confront the boss or take it to HR, and if she doesn't, then it can easily turn into a sexual harassment, which will be liability for the company and put the manager, senior manager, into like a deep situation.
Last one, how would you handle this situation?
Like I said, I would report it to HR and make a paper trail so that way everything's documented and it shows that I was taking action and not just letting it fester.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so here's a video example of how not to handle this situation.
Alright, Kevin, you are accused of making sexually suggestive remarks to Angela that made her feel uncomfortable. Solution: Angela, you are to make sexually suggestive remarks to Kevin that will make him uncomfortable.
I accept your decision.
That was a great example. Let's see it one more time.
Alright, Kevin, you are accused of making sexually suggestive remarks to Angela that made her feel uncomfortable. Solution: Angela, you are to make sexually suggestive remarks to Kevin that will make him uncomfortable.
I accept your decision.
So why is this inappropriate?
Because your boss is literally telling his employees to make sexual remarks to another employee. That's an HR nightmare.
Exactly. Now next.
Okay, and here are the key points of the research that we developed while writing our report on what Jane should do in this situation. One of the most important things is to know the mistake of ignoring the behavior is the least effective way to deal with the harassment. If you just ignore it, they're just going to take advantage. The old saying, give them an inch and they take a yard, that totally fits because they'll keep going at you until it ends up bad. Like procrastination, waiting till the last second will only lead to catastrophe and stress for yourself and those around you. Next of the research we got, the best way to show that the conduct itself is unwelcome is to take action and have it stopped. Going back to that, you're supposed to, once you see something they do that makes you uncomfortable, you're supposed to make sure it's documented and make sure the appropriate steps are taken in order to not be taken advantage of, in order to be able to keep it at that situation and not let it go any higher than that, because it's best to deal with the situation while it's still salvageable instead of being a HR nightmare or leading to complications in the workplace by your coworkers or the business in general. They want to keep the situation unnoticeable to others. The third point of the research indicates that rejecting flirting could cause unwanted demands and sexual harassment could cause job loss and uncertainty. Yes, you could be faced with job uncertainty, but if you just let it go on, it could cause even more problems. And when it get to the point where you want to stop, but you cannot because it's already at this point, and you're faced with more complications, it's better that you should have dealt with at the start instead of letting it build up to this point. So it's best to stick to your guns and let the person know that you want to keep this job, but they're not going to go through anything that goes with their personal integrity. So it's best to make sure that your point is made and you're prepared to walk if they are going to go too far, or just report it and make the best of the situation while you can. And finally, research shows that women interpret flirting behave different than men do. Okay, there's a lot of stereotypes with this, like, you hear a lot of dumb things like, if the woman flirts with you, it's okay, but if the men flirts with the women, it's not okay. No. It's either way, it doesn't matter what gender you are, you can't make assumptions in the workplace or go stereotyping like that. Each person has their own individuality, and you should assume as such in the workplace in order to avoid complications that will cause trouble in the long run in the workplace. And these are the key points of our research.
Alright, so this following skit, I'm gonna play as Jane.
And I'll be the creepy manager.
Alright, let's go.
Hey Jen, could you come into the office, please?
Yes, David, how can I help you?
So, did it hurt when you fell from the
David, we can't be talking about these things. It's just not work appropriate. But please tell me what you wanted to talk about.
So I was seeing if you were free for dinner tonight, you know? A nice Italian romantic, wine.
No, I'm actually married, so I can't be doing these kind of things.
Well, I got one of those too, but it doesn't really matter. You can just take it off and throw it away.
I really don't think this is appropriate. I'm really getting tired of all of this. David, if you don't stop, I'm gonna have to write a formal complaint about you.
So you don't think I'm attractive?
It has nothing to do with that, but we just need to cut this out, and I would like to work in a professional environment and not have to deal with getting harassed by my boss.
I'm not even harassing you, I'm just trying to ask you out.
Alright, well, you know my response, and if you continue to do it, I will write you up.
So I guess you're gonna go to HR, huh?
Yeah, if it comes down to that.
Well then, I guess I'll have to stop because I'm gonna lose my job if I don't stop, because I've already had like 2 complaints for, harassment, so.
Well, thanks, David, for dealing with the situation in a semi-professional manner. Is there anything else I could do, that actually involves work?
No, I think that's it. I apologize for my behavior, and I promise it'll be strictly business from now on.
Okay, thank you. Now I'm gonna go back to work. So this concludes our presentation.
There are many ways to handle the situation.
But from our research, we found out that the most effective way to deal with this is
To take it to HR.
Because it can lead to sexual harassment.
And litigation.
We're the
We're the
managers.
managers.
Thank you.
For watching.